What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Patrick just did wow, the Insta360 Go2 is vibrating across the desk. Welcome to Monday things. What is it? Maintenance? No, not Maintenance Monday. Micro Monday. Oh, the camera's out of focus. Should have checked that before we started. There we go. That's better. Wow, I got these lights cranked all the way up and they're still barely lighting up that wall. Okay. We're going to talk about the wall, of course, because that's what we do now. We talk about the wall. We're also going to look at some flight footage from 2 ripsqueaks. What you were just watching is the slightly lighter weight ripsqueak with a Runcam Hybrid and an ESC that's shitting the bed. That was what those weird bobbles were. And it's missing a motor bell and a propeller after a crash. We talked about that on yesterday's live stream. We're gonna watch the rest of the footage from this guy so you guys can get a feel for this. This is a lighter weight rig with 3.5-inch props, Gemfan 3520s, Pyrodrone Hyperlite 1404.5, 4522 kV motors on 4S 650. And then we're gonna talk about the heavier weight rig. Patrick and Ken are here. They're working on the room. Time got away from us. Maggie made dinner. It was awesome. Good people, good conversation. I almost missed the beginning of the stream. So this might be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight because I want to help those guys out some more. We got to throw some more purple paint on. We're doing the entire wall over there to get that horrible orange off of it. And yeah, Ken put in like 7,000 outlets. It's ridiculous. I've gone from this place where like there were 6 outlets in this room and they were all in the wrong spots. And I had like this weird anxiety about like, I'm not gonna have enough outlets for things, to now it's reversed and there's so many outlets that I'm anxious that I'm not gonna use them all and I'm gonna feel like a bad friend. Like, so
Ken, I used all the outlets. I did.
That's what it's gonna be.
Are you happy?
That's what it's gonna be. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. But yeah. And I got to show you guys the garage too. Although there's more lights on the way, the garage is like the surface of the sun. It's absolutely absurd. So yeah, things are going really well. We're getting a ton of stuff done, which is great. So yeah, we're gonna review some flight footage today. Yesterday was Sim Sunday. Sim Sunday returned yesterday. So if you didn't see the 3 o'clock Eastern to 5 o'clock stream, and you like watching me fly in the sim or just fly in general, jump over there. It was pretty fun. I tried to, this QX7 is on Edge TX, which is a little bit lower latency through the simulator for some reason. My other transmitter's on OpenTX. So we bounced back and forth between these two a couple times, and I tried to see if I could like feel the difference in latency. And I think I maybe did. I think I did. It wasn't night and day. I was really hoping it would be night and day. I feel like a shitty pilot when I can't tell the difference in latency. Like every time I've done something that reduces latency, I can't tell. And I'm split. On one hand, I think everybody else is out of their minds. On the other hand, I'm like, well, I just suck. So I mean, I'm okay either way.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. So yeah, that was interesting. I think maybe I felt a difference though. I didn't. Maybe I did though. I definitely didn't. There's no way that I did. I said that I did, but I was lying. Maybe I did though.
There's only
one
way. A blind test is the only way.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fly this rig,
yeah.
do these things.
Yeah, because then if it's really subtle, you'll actually notice it.
Shit. Oh.
Yeah, and we can do that. That's pretty easy to do. I just have to put the same stick ends on these 2 transmitters. That's a good idea. I'll have to do that. I'll put the FR Sky stick ends on both radios, and then I'll just have Maggie plug one or the other in and hand it to me. So we'll do that in the future. Good call. Hey, chat, how are you? Aaron FPV was first. Tommy Noose was next. RC Ritter FPV. Chopper Imp. Seth Patton. Great Southern. Tommy Noose. Frankie B. Kenny Kobe. McConnell Studios. Ryan. Just Ryan. I was the only one. How did you get that name, Ryan? Were you an early adopter? I've never seen just Ryan before. That's like just John. Paul McDonald. Justin the Guy. Frank Nicholas, I'm not even mad, I'm impressed. Yeah. What movie is that from? B-Man, Denzel the Terrible, Sleepy CBR, Kenny Kobe. I'm going to leave it there. If you want the gangliest of ganglies to read your gangly name, you got to get into the chat and gangle. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV, no space in between. If you do that, it'll light up an orange. Oh my god, what has happened? I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. There it is. Type CiottiFPV, and look at that. It'll light up an orange for me. You got to spell it right. You can do that with each other, too. If you want to get somebody's attention, type their name, and it'll light up an orange for them. ImpFPV says, have a nice evening, everybody. And CiottiFPV, I guess he left. Great Southern RC and FPV says, what's up, Gangly Man? Hey, before I forget, we're going to go to yesterday's stream and read the comments. That's something I'm doing now to let people hopefully get involved that watch these streams not live. Leave a comment, and on the next stream, I'll read it as if you're in the chat. YouTube Studio. Those are the only kind of ideas I have. Hey!
Here was only 2.
There's only been 1 or 2. Sim Sunday returns Q&A latency test. Click the button here. Let's see. Oh boy. What do we got? 0 comments. Thanks a lot, you fuckers.
Sorry.
So we're
Sorry.
there was a comment on the previous video, which is here, and I think it was from the Viking with a skateboard. It was from Viking FPV. It was from I'm the worst. I met him at Rampage. I love him so much. Danish Stallion, that's it. Danish Stallion left a good comment, and if I click here and then I click here, this will actually bring me up to date with doing this. I knew I was going to forget to do this. Danish Stallion says Foxwhoop. So we were talking about the Foxwhoop 25, which they claim is indestructible. Nick Burns smashed it into a brick wall a million times, and it really held up well. I still don't know if these pusher 2.5-inch rigs are really any good. There's a lot of efficiency increase going to 3-inch, and it's not much bigger. It's an inch bigger total. So like, right? Depends on who you ask. Don't think any other 2.5 whoop will be better. I got a freestyle video with it. I've smashed it straight into the road flat 30 feet or so. Can't believe nothing cracked. Do wish it was 3-inch though. There we go. Just for the efficiency with the extra DJI weight 3.5 Foxy or Cinewhoop frame coming in August per Libby. So that's interesting. So the Gep RC Cinelog is a lot of people's favorite right now. I've heard from a bunch of you guys that you've broken the guards on it. So if Foxeer makes a Foxwhoop 35 or 30, that might be the pusher to have, because the 25 is really durable, but the 30 is going to be heavier, 35 is going to be even heavier. So at that point, maybe they're not unbreakable anymore. All that being said, I want these things to be strong, but I don't need them to be overly strong, because these are Cinewhoops, right? These aren't freestyle rigs. If you're flying freestyle with these rigs, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. Who the hell am I? But yeah, they are cinematic rigs, and like, you want a cinematic rig to be not fragile, but you don't really need it to be able to bash into a brick wall over and over and over and over and over again at full tilt. So there's a balance, right? Because as they get more durable, you have to add more plastic, more bracing, more weight. Runtime goes down. Flight performance goes down. So, you know, as with all FPV, especially like frame development, right? We see that. We see certain frames come out that are more fragile, but lighter, heavier frames, and we get to see what starts breaking, right? Sometimes the really heavy, really strong frames can, in the real world, be more expensive, more problematic to maintain, because they break more motors. That's one of the reasons that I like the Glide so much. In my opinion, the way that I fly, the way that I crash, my all-up weight of 605 grams, it's the perfect combination where the arm will break before the motor, so I don't constantly break $25, $26 motors. I break $4 or $5 arms. I just wish Bob would get the arms back in stock, because I'm out of Glide arms, and I just broke one 2 days ago with Ken. So yeah, same sort of situation here, right? Don't want it to be too heavy, don't want it to be too light. We got to find that middle area. Maybe the Cinelog already found that middle area, and the people that have been breaking them are really slamming them obnoxiously hard, and that's, you know, if you're flying it as a Cinewhoop, that's not going to happen. Although it could. I don't know. You can totally argue that, like, if you're half a mile out in an unrecoverable spot flying your Cinewhoop for a car commercial and the car runs it over, if it survives, you can get the footage home. If it doesn't, you look like an idiot. So, yeah, it's interesting. But you got to have it light enough to get out there, right? So that's one of the cool engineering challenges about. Yeah, so Pyrodrone has the. I've resorted to ordering these.
You have to do
I've got
what
a bunch
you
of
gotta
them.
do.
Yeah, Pyrodrone does have their. So they have a.
It's the new style, right?
So Bob developed the Glide when he was still working with Pyrodrone. When he left, oh wait, no, I don't know if he told me that story to not tell on a live stream. So I'm going to stop there. But what I'll say is Pyrodrone sells a glide. Bob wanted the glide made better quality. Well, I just told you. Well, there it is. Bob wanted better quality cutting and carbon with the glide, so FPV Cycle sells a better quality glide. But Pyrodrone does sell glide arms, and they're not like, they're made of carbon fiber. It's not as good, I don't think. Maybe. But yeah, you can get replacement glide arms from Pyrodrone, and I have been. I feel like I'm cheating on Bob when I do it, but I just need them.
You ain't putting out. If you ain't putting out, it ain't cheat.
Oh boy.
Can back me up on that.
There you go. Danish, great comment. Thank you for leaving that info. That's super, super, super helpful to know that, yeah, the Foxwhoop 25 is... so for the record, Foxwhoop 25, you're not going to be picking up a full-size, full-case GoPro with it. That is... I mean, technically it will, but the runtime is going to be awful. The performance is going to be awful. The 2.5-inch Cinewhoops are for naked GoPros, or... The Hero 10 Bones is awful heavy for a naked GoPro, but it's probably like the upper limit of what realistically that thing's going to carry and still have good flight performance. So there you go. 3-inch rigs, 3.5-inch rigs. They're able to pick up the full size battery in GoPros. So yeah, there you go, friends. Justin the Guy says, evening everyone in CiottiFPV, finally made another live stream on time. B-Man says, what's up, fam? Denzel Terrible says, hi, Dr. Gangelstein. Tuner Taxi says, what's up? Dr. Gangelstein. That's a good one.
I can't believe you read it correctly.
I know, right? Kiz Bartlett says, you need to call having a piss. The gangly needs to dream. Oh, God.
Wow. No.
This is comment of the month. Kiz Bartlett says, I gotta get this right because this is one of the better comments of this year. He says, you need to call having a piss or taking a piss. The gangly needs to drain his dangly.
Excuse me, guys.
10 points, Kiz. 661 FPV says, background looks like those sports card things with the baseball batter swinging the bat in the middle.
Yes. Love it.
Bob Noxious says, what's up, collective, and CiottiFPV. Does it look any more? Does it? It still looks blue. I'm just not hitting it with enough light. I have a light source here right now, but it's just not enough. I kind of can't believe how much light this wall is soaking up. I wonder if it's because it's matte.
And the colors,
but man, I'm hitting this wall with at least twice as much light as I was when it was white, and it's just absorbing it. So that's cool because that gives me an excuse to buy like a proper constant on LED video light. There's a really nice Amran, I think it is, for like $250. That's like a proper like video, like as a gaffer, I'm like the world's worst gaffer because all my gear is stupid and silly and small, and whenever I work with Michelle of Octopunk Media, she always has to like rent gear for me, which is actually pretty like a lot of crew rent gear nowadays. It used to be like you kind of had to have your own and you would rent it to the person hiring you, which is just very strange, but just build it into your cost. But yeah, so I mean it's fine, but it would. I've always kind of looked for an excuse to have just like one. You guys have seen them like on movie sets. They're just like a big fucking body, and then there'll be what's sometimes called a beauty dish on the front. But then you can also snap a softbox on the front, and they just fire out a ton of light. And it's a big heat sink, and it's a big nasty Cree LED. And yeah, there are some really inexpensive ones that are really decent on Amazon, and I've had one in like my wish list or whatever for a long time. So yeah, maybe it's time to buy one. Although once that white shelf is in front of there, well, that's interesting. Yeah, it's all going to change once that white shelf is in front of it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe maybe I'll end up hitting these walls with colored light. I was thinking I was going to hit the walls with just white light, but that might blow out the white shelf. We'll see. That'll be fun. Speaking of Michelle from Octopunk Media, if you guys know the game Detroit Awakening, Detroit Return, Detroit something or other. I've talked about this before in the stream. Michelle, a friend of mine, Michelle in Charleston, South Carolina, she calls her business Octopunk Media. She makes short films for a living and live streams, and is awesome. I met her when I first moved to Charleston. We've been friends ever since. That's when she started making films, and she has had me run lighting as a gaffer on probably about a dozen of her films over the years. And yesterday or the day before is like the 1-year anniversary of her most recent Detroit film, Detroit Reawakening, I believe it's called, that I went to Charleston last year to work on. That was when, those of you that are OGs might remember, I lost my very first rig. I lost my cinematic rig with the Hero 8 in the Charleston Bay. But it was a time when, so it had been, at that point, it had been like 3 months since the divorce. I'd gone through like my month-long, depression, licking my wounds period. And then I was like full tilt. Like I was going to therapy the whole time, but I just bounced back and started dating. And so when I went to that gig, I had met Maggie like 1 week prior, like 2 weeks prior. And I was just, it was a period last year. It was like this little time period last year where I was just on top of the fucking world. And you can see it in the Instagram story when I lost that rig. I was just like, yep, it happens. It was due to happen. Like I wasn't mad at all. And it's really weird. I rewatched it last night. And what's cool is 2 days ago, Michelle released a 1 and 10 minute documentary behind the scenes from when we made that movie. And I watched it last night, like in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, as always. And it was really cool to watch that, of course. But like, it's just wild to see what's kind of happened in a year. This has been an amazing year, and it's like that time period there, and like a little bit of backstory behind that film. It's called the first film that Michelle made was called Detroit Awakens. Last year is the last Detroit film she's going to do, and it was called Reawakens. One of the actors on the original film, it was one of her first big films that blew up and got millions of views. That very first one. One of the lead actors, he ended up being kind of scummy with one of the fans, and like he was married, and like it was way over the line, and so it was this weird like black spot on the series. So Detroit Reawakens was that original movie with a non-rapey actor to replace that person, and then the rest of the cast was the same, and it was basically a remake, so it kind of erases that movie and that weird like black mark. And so it was wild because it was closure for like that short film series, and I realized last night it was also kind of like closure for me, because like that previous part of my life was just like done, and it was just moving forward in a really good way. And a lot of you guys that have been watching for a long time probably remember that, because it got a little dark, and then it got better, and the live streams got better, right? Like it's hard to be all happy and fun for you guys to watch when you're fucking miserable 24/7. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Last night was incredibly fun watching that. And so if you guys want to check it out, it's I'm gonna type it in the chat. It's Octopunk Media. Michelle is an awesome person, and just follow her on Instagram and YouTube and all the places. She's just super cool, and I'm super lucky to have gotten to see her like build this thing that she's got going from the ground up in the time that I've known her. I would like to think that I've kind of sort of done the same thing with my little thing going on here. That's what she said. So yeah, there you guys go. There's some shit from the other non-FPV sort of part of my life. doing lighting as a gaffer whenever I can, which is not very often. I only really do stuff with Michelle, but it's usually like a couple times a year, and it's awesome, and it's a paying gig, and it's, you know, the end product is amazing, right? Like, it's a Blu-ray. It's got millions and millions and millions of views on YouTube. Like, it's a real thing. So yeah, and the game again is called Detroit Awakens, I think. But if you just look up Detroit, it's a game. Some people love it. There's a real cult following with the game, and it's yeah. I just love that, like, Michelle made that film, put her ass on the line and a bunch of money on the line, time, to make that and edit that, and it blew up. Like, that's the dream, right? To some extent, like, that's why content creators do what they do. That's sort of the carrot on the end of the string, and I'm very lucky to have been able to watch someone else, like, do that. Like, that's been super rad. So yeah, check it out. You'll get to see my lighting on pretty much all those films, and the lighting on the film from last year was pretty rad. We had some really nice gear, and I was in a good place, and I was thinking clearly, and I was creative, and I was happy, and you can almost see it in the way that's lit. But yeah, so there you go. There's a bunch of shit that you guys probably don't care about. Bob Noxious, hope you're feeling better. He says, what's up, Collective and CiottiFPV? A Cable 14 with a $2 super chat. He says, I made it to the stream. Glad to have you, brother. Stay a while and listen. Call out the game, someone. June Loco says, is that a labor worker from Home Depot?
You got a problem with my work ethic, man?
Don't do it. Don't do it. 661 says, do it in Velocidrone. All the other sims suck with the physics. Do what in Velocidrone, 661? Velocidrone is my favorite sim. I agree. The physics are the best in my opinion. But I'm wondering what you were referencing by saying do it in Velocidrone. Hey, you know what? On this computer, the timestamps are not on. Now they're on. That's a comment from 15 minutes ago. So. Denzel the Terrible says, "Stop! Tell Patrick to stop bitching and get to work." That was at 10:14. Don E says, "Like this" at CiottiFPV. Belt FPV says, "Really enjoy your channel." Thank you, brother. You're love to have you on here. Hang out. Make yourself at home. Paul McDonald says, I got 2 glide arms I can send you if needed. Thank you, Paul. I'm just going to do a pirate drone order. Twist my fucking arm. I'll have to do a pirate drone order. And, you know, a couple of glide arms is not enough to get free shipping, so I'll just have to find something else.
Maybe a 1404.5.
Nope. I'm done.
Done.
So this is the third one that I've broken. I was talking about it on yesterday's stream. I'm done. I'm done with these 1404.5s. If you want to try them, you can have 3 of them.
Hyper brake.
They were really good, though. I will admit. If you don't crash them,
I'm saying it's not for you. It's for me.
Dude, they even cranked these 3.5-inch props. These Gemfan 3.5s. Athix says Hyperlite Glide version Hyperlite Glide version 0.5. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Kind of what it is. Woo! That's the rest of a gin and tonic with the cucumber syrup that Maggie made for me. Dude, isn't that interesting? Not cucumber, celery. Celery.
Yeah, it just went down like candy.
Isn't that interesting, right? It's yeah, celery syrup. Amazing.
Should let it ferment and shit.
Instamatic says don't use LEDs, use real lights, not LEDs. Why is that, Instamatic? To my knowledge, the LEDs have gotten astoundingly good. The CRI is really good. They run really cool. Cheap. Yeah, the price has finally come down. B-Man says he likes the paint. Thank you, brother. It's I know it looks a little blue, but it is purple. I'm not putting enough light on it. Well, you know what? Actually, here. Let's try this. Let's hit it with purple light and see what happens. And we'll hit it with red light and see what happens. So, retro lamp, we're going to go red first.
It looks so good in person, though.
Wow, that's what...
Let me see. Can I...
So, the white lights...
Do I need to look on my phone while this happens?
The white lights are way brighter than the red lights. But look at the red. Ready? It almost doesn't change. It's almost as bright. Like, I can't explain to you. Like, look at my arm, guys.
Right here.
Look at the difference in amount of light on my right arm. Ready? Here. I'm gonna bring my hand in. Ready? Watch my hand. It just disappeared. Like, the red is not all that bright. The white is really bright. That's super interesting that it's still showing up so bright with just the red. All right, so there's red, and now here's purple.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
look at that purple come up.
Wow.
All right, so I'm hitting it
looks
with
amazing.
I'm hitting it with different color
I gotta
lights.
tell you.
So, and then I can just
Jeez.
so let's put one red and one purple. How do I do that?
How much of it do you think is the sheen?
Retro lamp metal. That's what I'm curious
The
about.
reflection.
So there's red and purple. Yeah, you know, that's about right. I mean, that's... Yeah, I want the background to be darkened, to be dimmed down. I'll probably hit it a little bit harder with light, but that's about right. Man, that looks cool. And then here's white light again. Retro lamp. That really makes that edge pop out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We'll play with it. All right, let me make sure I'm caught up on chat here. White. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah. Just making sure.
It's gotta
I
be.
ain't painting it back black.
Athix says, could you... Athix says, could you use diffused LED strips on the white border? Ken actually had exactly that idea. Well, Ken's idea is, which I really like, is to put a little lip on this. I have a friend that's a woodworker that could probably come knock it out. Ken's convinced that I can do it, but man, he has no idea how bad I am at doing things. My woodworker buddy, who we might, Maggie and I might actually ask him if he can do something in our bedroom. So I was kind of thinking like, hey, can you do that big crazy built-in thing in our bedroom and just a strip thing on here? Yeah, Ken's idea was to do a little lip, and then you can hide the LED strip and then run it down. I weirdly just found this YouTube channel of a guy that a guy Riot 9 says always nice to have a little lip on it. There's a guy on YouTube that tests.
That's perfect. Ken too. I just want to know all. I just want you to know all three of us. Good one.
God, why is it a requirement? Like, what is it about being male that makes you just forever 7 years old?
But that was quality. That was quality. You have some pompous ass stupid shit to get said, sure. But that was a quality.
What's the matter with us? Yeah, so this guy reviews like LED light strips, and recently he's been reviewing all the diffusers, because there's a lot of shitty ones, but there's some good ones. And yeah, so he's got a couple videos with like here's the really good diffuser. So now I'm thinking about that, but the diffuser adds some thickness. So if I do what I don't like about doing just the LED strip, is that each little LED is going to have a little, you know, what they have the little cone of light that they put out, right? So I'd rather have a diffuser. So what I think I want to try to find is the thinnest possible diffuser that can then be hidden behind the lip, so that on the purple, which is dark, right? It's dark. It's definitely darker than the red, right? Yeah, we just have a little wash of light coming down. And then remember, that big white shelf is going to be here, so that white light is just going to light up the purple behind that white shelf.
Yeah, I wouldn't do too much until you get your stuff in place.
I know, right? I'm like, because this amount of light right here with that white shelf, like that white shelf is going to be bright. So I don't know. We'll see. Do you guys care? Like, should I stop talking about this shit? Be honest. I want you guys to be honest.
Do a vote thing?
Oh yeah, if I do a vote, you know, last time it wouldn't let me do. No, I can't do it. I'm not a good enough channel. I'm not a good enough YouTuber. Isn't that some bullshit? Joshua can do it. Hold on. Let me actually look here though. Hold on. Let me look here. Maybe I can. Maybe.
There we go.
I'm really bad at
here.
things. Stream settings. So I got.
Never give up.
Joshua said it's right in here. All right. So stream settings. It's not there. Analytics. It's obviously not there. Viewer activity. No super chats. Come on now. None?
Yeah.
Wait, no, there was one. What?
$2.
Come on, YouTube. You guys like that? Hey, this is my full-time job. I will die if you don't support me. Head on over to CiottiFPV.com or I'll die. I don't have any option. What's this? Create highlight video. Oh, that's cool. Add stream marker. No, I don't want to do that. Enable monetization to insert ads. No, I like my viewers too much to enable monetization.
Oh,
I will not make you guys watch commercials because that's just the kind of guy. Isn't that worth a super chat?
Yeah.
Jesus. Morton Upshot says, what's on the bench? A completely annihilated glide. Not completely annihilated. It's got a broken arm and a broken motor. And a whole bunch of dust. Yeah, I can't do a poll. Doesn't let me. God forbid I go on a website and spend 4 seconds doing it, like SurveyMonkey. Danzo the Terrible says, I definitely appreciate some good lighting, but do you guys care about like me talking about it in total like nerd ridiculous, you know, me being me?
I think they're biting.
Bob Noxious dropping the PayPal link. Thank you, dude.
There you go.
Kiz Bartlett says, schedule or start a live stream or a premiere from the bot. Wait. Schedule or start a live stream or a premiere from the bottom of the chat window. Tap create poll. Oh, look, it's right down there at the bottom of the chat window. It says create a poll.
Wow. Joshua Barlow
Do
is brilliant.
you guys care? That's going to be the name of the poll. Yes or no? Ask your community. There you go.
Look at that.
There's your poll. Do you guys care? Yes or no?
You have stepped up today.
If you care, yes, you want. It's cool for me to talk about non-FPV shit constantly. A Cable 14 with a $2 live chat. He says, live. What is it called? The worst streamer ever. Thank you, A Cable. Much appreciated. He says no commercials. All right, so let's look at some footage. Why am I such a goddamn goofball? We're gonna play the rest of the footage from the 1404.5 rig on the Gemfan 3.5s, 650-ish MAH 4S battery. Yeah, I will not be, these are fragile motors, but this rig flies pretty good. And the footage is coming out of a Runcam Hybrid. Bob Noxious says, I will still learn something. Awesome. So yeah, here's the rest of that footage. We're gonna go monitor mic and turn it way down. So yeah, this is a really cool spot. I've actually never seen anybody else fly this spot. There's so many just little whatever spots like this in Atlanta, and this is my favorite kind of thing. Like, this is just everything for me. Ken agrees that it's awesome. I mean, it's, you know, just, you don't get to fly big, huge buildings like this that are huge, ginormous mirrors all that often. And a lot of times, like you see right here, they'll have like trees really close to the building that you can try to stay away from and smash into the building and get stuck, if you're like me. It actually, but watch this though. Look at the durability of the micros. Micros have come a long way. These are kind of fragile motors, but this isn't really a motor destroying kind of crash. Look at that. Look at that. Taken off from the pine straw. Pine straw is actually one of the things that micros tend to have a really hard time with. But I got lucky on this one. We got a little bit of jello because I bent the prop up a little bit. That's to be expected. If you're going to run HD on a micro, you got to have clean props. You can bang them up a little bit. Sometimes you can even bend them back straight. But a really hard hit is going to bend the props so much that you have jello. So just remember that, because like if you're on a good battery, if you're at a good spot rather, and you crash, and for the rest of the battery you've got jello and it's the best battery of your life, you're going to be really pissed. So just remember that with micros, that like if you have a half decent crash and you're at a good spot, bring it back and check the propellers and straighten them out or replace them. It's just infuriating to have a really good battery and then it's ruined by jello. Not something that we really have to worry about with 5-inch rigs, because GoPros are just amazing at eating jello. How, those of you that are running the DJI Action 2, have you noticed that? Have you noticed that it's as good as GoPro at handling jello? Because GoPro is way better than Runcam and Caddx's HD cameras like way better at putting up with vibrations and not producing jello. I wonder if it's just a heavy camera thing. I wonder once a camera, because all of Cadix and Runcam's HD cams are really lightweight, right? So I wonder if once a camera is over 85 grams, right? That's basically what a Session 5 weighs. It's just enough of a mass damper to not have jello. This is one of my favorite little spots, parts of this spot here. This little walkway right next to the side of the building. Man, that gap between the railing and the top of that thing, though, becomes a lot smaller as you fall and gain more and more speed. This is a really cool... I should have flown this spot in DJI because you can poke around all down below. There's a bottom floor of this entire area, this entire parking garage. It's really cool. And analog just doesn't quite cut it down there. All right, so there you go. There was the second battery. You might have noticed in that battery there weren't as much bobbles. That was me flying around whatever the hell's going on with the ESC in this thing. There's something wrong other than the missing motor bell. There was something wrong with this rig, and it just seems to be the ESC. I just think it's the ESC. So yeah, this rig is going to be getting different motors, and the ESC is going to get swapped out. Super annoying, but I mean, that's micro life, man. We just don't have really good components. Oh no, yeah, we still don't. Getting better though, getting better. Compared to 5-inch rigs, we just don't have really quality ESCs yet. Flight controllers are not really an issue, but none of the really lightweight micro ESCs are as durable as the 5-inch ESCs, like the Acon. You could even say like the Hobbywing. Or T-Motor, which is made by Acon, but we know that. So yeah, lots of float with these 3.5-inch props. I think the all-up weight on this rig is about 240. I was bouncing back and forth between batteries. This might be a GNB 4S 550. It might be a GNB 4S 700. It might be a 650. They're all pretty damn close. They're all like within 10 grams of each other. So yeah, flight performance is about the same. Actually, I think this is a little bit lighter. I think this is closer to like 230 or 220 grams with those lighter weight batteries. With the 4S 850, it's right at 250 grams. But I didn't have any of those batteries with me. And again, this is on a 3.5-inch prop, so this is a sub like proper sub 250, not like 249, right? This is a 230-ish gram rig on 3.5-inch props, so it's floaty, right? But like, I don't know, man. It looks an awful lot like the float of a 5-inch rig. I'm always going back and forth about like what is the right all-up weight for 3-inch and 3.5-inch props to get as close as possible to the amount of float and or just the fall speed. The fall speed is the thing that I'm trying to really dial in on the micros to match it up with 5-inch rigs. But what I think happens is that you have to balance the fall speed with the momentum for throwing yourself over things, and I don't think you can get that right. I don't think there's a way to build a 3-inch rig that has the same fall speed and the same amount of momentum as a 5-inch rig. I've been playing around with like 270, 280 gram 3-inch rigs, and they gain the throw, but then I haven't noticed it. I don't think I noticed it until flying this rig here, actually, that, yeah, this is more of a 5-inch kind of fall speed. So, I don't know. The infinite testing will continue. But, like, look at that, right? Like, that, like, coming down the side of that building and then kind of swooshing out. To me, that looks an awful lot like just the pacing of the way a 5-inch rig would do that. Or maybe it's a little bit more floaty. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? You're watching, too, hopefully. Hopefully I've got the right scene selected. So yeah, this is, and again, this is me kind of, I'm flying ultra smooth because I don't want it to get all bobbly because the ESU is being weird. There is the Runcam doing this strange, like, half frame rate thing. Mike from Gemfan actually called this out. I'd never noticed it before. I just thought when I was watching the footage, the computer was getting shitty. But this is in the footage. You guys see it? Right when I bank left, 1, 2, 3, now until now. It goes half frame rate. It goes to 15 frames a second. And what I do know is that Runcam has a feature built into the Hybrid and probably all of their HD cams called low light optimization, I think it is. And what that mode does is when the, see, there's the ESC shit in the bed. If you turn that on, what it does is when the light level drops too low, it goes from 30 frames to 15 frames so that it can drop the shutter speed down from 1/30th to 1/15th. Lets in, you know, a 15th of a second of light per frame versus a 30th of a second per frame. I have that turned off though. So maybe it's like the cars that have traction control that even though you push the button to turn them off, it still doesn't turn off. I'm looking at you, Volkswagen and Audi and Mercedes. I think that's it. I don't think BMW has stooped that low yet. But yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't do it very often. It really doesn't do it very often, but I would really prefer it to not do it at all, you know? We're going to take a second on this flight footage, and I'm going to get caught up on chat because I've been asking you guys questions. And there's also a poll. Here's the poll.
The poll.
What? 38% said no, 62% said yes. I knew there were people that didn't care. I knew it. All right, cool. Sorry, people that don't care. You're outnumbered. Ending the poll.
It's not gonna end. It's not gonna happen all the time.
It's true. It's true. It's not gonna happen all the time.
Situation.
39 votes. Look at you guys. Okay. Thank you for being active. Eva FPV's in the chat. What's up? How are you? She says, "What's up, boo?" Kiz Bartlett says, "What's all this about a 5-inch floater?" Kiz Bartlett's on fucking fire tonight. Jesus. Just Fly says, "It wouldn't be normal if you didn't talk about frivolous nonsense." Good. That's what I like to hear. Paul McDonald says, "Did you mean Ken Hare?" No, I did not. I did not, Paul. Bob Maxson says I will still learn something. Quadenstein says glue fumes. Yeah, maybe. There's been paint down here. There's been... It's a hot mess. Paul McDonald says, on my 08 Charger, I got to hold the key in accessory position for 10 seconds while driving over 15 miles per hour. Then all traction control turns off and the trans changes shifting a bit. Man, that is commitment. I guess that's not too bad. That is commitment, though. Athix says BMW has stooped to an $18 a month sub fee for heated seats. Oh no, have they really? That's some Tesla shit right there. Athix says BMW has stooped to charging $18 a month as a subscription for heated seats.
What the fuck? Wow.
What's Tesla's version? So Tesla was first with this bullshit, right?
Tesla
So what's
had
their
it
version?
available. They had it available. They didn't offer it, and they updated the computer and said, "Oh, by the way, everybody's got heated seats now."
Well, so but Tesla has a sub thing where they just and turn it on, right? What's their monthly fee?
Oh, they have their connection stuff. And
Okay.
they had a free connection up until the new cars. Now you got to pay for that.
Well, isn't it? Well, and it's full self-driving too, right?
Full
self-driving. You have to give them money for the.
And you have to qualify. I have an option on my car.
$12,000.
I paid 10, so consider me lucky. I paid 10, and I still don't qualify for it. I have an Easter egg in my car that I can't use that costs 18% of the vehicle. Because I don't drive well enough. Well, I ask you, Elon, where's the camera? I ask you, sir, who needs the self-driving more? People that can drive well? Huh? Or the lady that takes a 15-point turn out of a parking spot?
Oh boy.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah. So you pay them all that money and they flip a switch and then your car has full self-driving. What Patrick's talking about him not qualifying for it is they monitor your driving.
They grade
and you get it. They grade you. You get a score.
You have to get 95 or better.
So you have to like.
Never had that.
What is it? It's lateral G. It's hard braking.
Following too close.
You have to be easy on the brakes. You have to leave a big gap between you and the car in front of you. because you have to be a good driver.
You can accelerate as quickly as you want, as long as you don't come off the accelerator and brake really hard or anything
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
There's the loophole. Paul McDonald says, have you flown your new 21 millimeter Cinemotors yet?
Say again?
21 millimeters. Oh, no, I have not. I put them on the one of the Cinesplorers, and I haven't bolted them down yet. Since Ken's in town, we've just been either flying or doing electrical work / painting / just doing all things. I feel bad that I'm not doing FPV stuff for you guys right now, but I just want to get shit done here. It just drives me crazy when so much stuff is not done. So I'll be better for you guys if I just suck it up, do as much work as I can right now to get this place in, like, you know, as best shape as possible, and then yeah, you'll have a cooler looking wall to look at. So sorry for the lack of like actual FPV stuff lately, but we're close. We're really close actually. This wall's done. Those two walls are getting painted tonight, and then this wall doesn't matter really. This wall over here, this wall doesn't really matter either. So yeah, it's gonna be like 90% done down here pretty soon. I think like by the end of the week, and that's awesome because this is amazing down here. Like having the TV and shit, and like a spot for Maggie and the kids to chill. Like this is amazing. So yeah. Paul McDonald says you're still doing it for us too. We appreciate you. Thank you, brother. You guys are the goddamn best. Kiz Bartlett says Tesla only charges because Elon has that child support to pay for. If you're not paying extra for your Tesla, you're starving a baby. Oh God.
He ain't wrong.
You're starving a baby.
There was a can I interject? There was a tweet the other day. So there's a competition, Lucid Motors, and Lucid Motors is a super elegant electric vehicle.
Tell the story. I gotta
American-made,
find the case
right?
for this.
Yeah. And Lucid Motors, so they ended up reporting and giving very weak guidance moving forward, right? And this is Tesla's competition. They made 7.5 vehicles a month last year, right? Which is a joke. Elon comes out and goes, he tweets, he goes, 7.5 vehicles a month? I made more kids than that.
Oh my God.
He ain't wrong.
Wow.
He ain't wrong.
We need to, Jesus, we need to take him down a notch. That's a bit aggressive. All right, awesome. I needed to get this. So after we look at the rest of this footage, we're gonna look at the footage that you guys really want to see from the Ripsqueak 2 frame with everybody's favorite rear Insta360 Go2 mount. Looking up at the bottom of the rig, and Ken and I went to my favorite spot in all of Atlanta, and I flew 2 batteries on this, and it might be the coolest shit ever. It's just my favorite spot. You guys probably already know what spot it is, but yeah, it could be really cool. Maybe it'll look stupid because I do all the pitch forward stuff in that spot. So it might actually look dumb, but I think it's actually going to look super trippy. So, yeah, we're going to look at that when we're done looking at the rest of the boring old frontward-facing Runcam Hybrid footage from this. I think there's just one more battery, though. Aaron FPV is putting together a Fractal 75 tonight. Very cool. I have one. It's buried. It's going to get built at some point. Let's get back to the flight footage, because that's what I put in the stream title. Monitor with mic, and
Yeah, I think you're right.
all right, full screen here, pull it to the end, and that'll go to the next one. All right, so this is from the next day. Oh no, this is the same day. Come on. So, who recognizes this spot? Be honest. I'll be kind of impressed if you recognize this spot, because it hasn't been flown in a long time. So yeah, be honest in the chat whether or not you recognize this spot. So of course, as you guys can probably already see, those little dive holes are sort of like the star of the show with this spot. But there's also this cool little like way to kind of enter that area. Nothing really going on here, but this right here, all skateboard-ish. I didn't go nuts because I just don't fly the micros super hard. I have 5-inch batteries for this spot, from this spot where I really ripped down those stairs. But this is a spot that I've been wanting to fly for a long time, and I was pretty sure that I knew where it was, but I just never gone over there to try to find it. And it was exactly where I thought it was. And man, this is definitely one of my favorite spots in Atlanta right now. So there will be more flying here, and I will more than likely lose something on this ledge, and or fully on the roof, because I also now, of course, want to hit those gaps. I would love to try to go through the vertical roof gap and then 90 degrees straight down into the side gap. But man, what a great way to lose a rig. So yeah, this rig is just nuts. I'm really sad to see these 14.4.5s go, but I just can't fly a motor that's as fragile as they are. See, there was doing the half frame rate thing again. Let's really quickly look. As soon as I went into the, it seems to be low light related, which I'm not happy about. Right here, see it? It just went right into that little half frame weirdness. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm definitely gonna confirm that I have that turned off in the. I know it's turned off, but I'll make sure. So that's not the hit that killed the motor, for the record. So like, I've crashed a couple times. So I mean, again, these motors aren't totally fragile, but they're more fragile than I want them to be. And I noticed that they're more fragile than some of the other motors that I ran. Like we talked about yesterday, this rig is going to get a new ESC. There it is. There's the dive gap. It's going to get a new ESC, and it's going to get the Axis 1404 motors. I have a feeling they're going to be too small, but we're going to find out. That is the crash that spit the bell off of the motor shaft. And that's also like, that's a failure that's not a great failure. Like, the motor's getting banged up to the point where the magnets rub against the stator. I get it. That failure just there is basically the shaft slipping, right? I mean, it happened in a crash, but the shaft slipped, and like, that's not good. Like, if that happened here, it's gonna happen again. It's probably also gonna happen like in the air, right? Like motors where the shaft slip. Now that the micro motors, so we've kind of reached the limit of what T-mount can handle. The problem with T-mount is your propeller is bolted to the motor bell, and then the motor shaft is pressed into the motor bell. So as this assembly makes thrust, the whole time it's making thrust, it's trying to rip itself out of the motor shaft. And our micro motors now have become a lot more powerful than they used to be. And we're at a point with like 2004s and like 2005s, I think, where just flying around, they're making enough thrust eventually after a bunch of batteries to just rip the bell right off the motor shaft. So then when you start crashing them, that can be a problem. But there are micromotors that don't have this problem as often as others. You know, whatever their process is for mating the motor bell to the shaft is better than another company. I'm absolutely certain that there are ways to do it that it would never let go. You know, in engine design over in the Ferrari plant, but probably more than just them. The valve seals, so the block, the valve seal seats into the block, and they will cool the valve seals in liquid nitrogen, and they will heat the block up. So the hole in the block expands a little bit because the block heats up, and then the valve seal, which is a metal ring made of a different material than the block, that shrinks up a little bit from being so cold, and then they mate them together and they heat this up, and it's just in there forever. So like, yeah, sure, they could do that on these, and then the motor would cost $100 per. So it's, you know, it's cool to see. It's cool to see like the different manufacturers figure out different ways to make them less expensive. But sometimes they'll do something and it won't work, and it'll make it less durable. 661 says, I always thought the bell was crimped on the shaft. I think usually they are. Usually they have like some kind of like knurling or like a texture to them. But I bet you everybody does it a little bit different, right? Because there's a bunch of different motor companies and they probably don't talk. So on an M5 motor,
I should probably use a bow.
on an M5 motor or the FPV Cycle 3mm shaft motors, the 2104s, the motor shaft is where the propeller is. So as the propeller pulls up, it's pulling up on the motor shaft rather than pulling up on the bell. So those motors will never have a bell separation like this because the prop is cranked down to the main motor shaft. So 661 says, I've also had the shaft come all the way out of the bell on Hyperlite 1404.5s. Yeah, I've seen this over the years. There are just certain motors that they don't do the right process, and they slip shafts. There are motors, there are T-mount motors that slip shafts. There are T-mount motors that don't. But we're starting to see up in the more powerful ones that they're all slipping shafts. Not all of them, but like, yeah, there's not like one that doesn't and one that does. It's just like all of the big T-mount motors will just yank the bell right off the shaft. So Steve E says, did you get any further on the AOS 3.5? The 5.5 has been solid. No, Steve. I've been full tilt, like get this house done so that I can relax versus, yeah, try to do FPV stuff interspersed with... I'm just... My brain does better kind of hyper-focusing on stuff. So, yeah, I'm just kind of sticking with what works for my brain. Okay, so that footage is... that was all the footage from this rig. Now I'm going to plug in the Insta360 Go. You guys will also get to see the Insta360 Go software, which is pretty cool. It's pretty slick stuff. This is USB-C. I need to... Alright, hold on a second, friends. I need to plug another cable in here, and we'll be good to go. This is another thing I couldn't do on the old slow computer, is run the Insta360 Go software.
Normally I would use this roller again, but since we're fighting a coat that is a problem, I'm using it.
Alright, here we go. Plugging in
Wouldn't normally do that,
the
but
Insta360 Go2.
those are my throw
Yeah.
away. That sucks.
Alright.
It took all the effort to watch it. It's actually in really great shape. It's fear, but it doesn't do perfectly.
Okay. So it should just pop up on the desktop here. Let's take a look. Oh, nope, I have to hit a button on it. That's right. This is kind of annoying. It should just pop up. But you gotta press to connect. It says connecting. And now it should pop up. Come on. Pop up on the desktop. Where are you? Come on. There it is. Insta360 Go2. I think I might be able to play it right off of there. Oh, tell me I don't have the software installed.
You don't have the software installed?
Oh, don't tell me that. I do not. Nope. All right, stand by, friends. Insta360 Go. Download. You guys can watch what I'm doing. It's fine. Oh, no. I didn't want to do that. Let's go back here. Google Play. What? No, we don't want Google Play. I think this would be it. Insta360 Go2 downloads, and not Android. We want... Where's Mac? Show me Mac! There we go. Download. What?
It can be. I mean,
Oh, are you kidding me?
almost.
Come on now. Serial number. Is this real life? Unplug it. All right, where's the serial number? I'm sure it's up in here. Where's it at? Oh my god, I'm gonna need to use a 5X loop. Thank God for this 5X loop. If you don't have one, you wouldn't be able to do this. Scroll down into the description and get yourself one. T8. Is that it there? T8? Yeah, there. No, T1. What the hell? FCC ID, model number. Oh, God. All right, hold on. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, no, they have a button. How do I get the serial number? Tell me. What? It's not even in. There it is. Quickly, tell me. Open the charge case. Press the. Oh, even better. Even better. Charge case. Go to its eye. Mode button. Navigate to settings. Connecting. Come on. All right, mode button. Time lapse, HDR, slow mo settings. There we go. And then we got auto 120, high bitrate on, unlock, English on, format, reset, about. Firmware version, serial number. There we go. Come on. 7 XD. Wait, no, I shouldn't say it out loud, maybe.
Yeah.
W S. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see. Oh, you bastards! About. How's that not the serial number? What? Oh, one of them is the serial number of the camera. The other one's the serial number of the case. So I think that should work. Well, I can't. What? Oh wait, you guys can see me typing it in. I'm sure you guys are saying that in the chat right now. 7XDUE. What? Come on, man. DUEW. That's it. There seems to be 2 of them. Oh. Do I have to click it? No. Click it. 7XD? Is that also written on the back of the damn thing?
It's very important.
No.
That you, like, get that perspective because that's why, like, just even get a little.
Come on, man.
I'm like, whoa.
Chat, what do you guys got for me?
Coming from a
Any
quad,
smart people?
You know, quad flyer.
Sharing your screen. Yeah.
It's just a whole.
Come on, man. Let me try the other one. I'll do that. Press to connect. Connecting. All right, I'm gonna try the other one. Come on, come on, come on. Settings. Come on. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Yeah, that was also impressive. Great handle, the low center of gravity.
Oh, come on.
All-wheel drives.
Done. Okay, got it. Settings.
I have never.
All right, and we got about. So let's try the other one. 7DE. 7DE. Bing, bang, bang. You know.
It is weird though having percentage.
All right. D. U. E. W. Okay, so hold on. Let's do this. And we'll get it out of there. Insta360 Go2. Photo shot on 1R. Go2. Okay, so it says Go2.
2022.
All right.
Exactly.
Wait, let's do this. Let me refresh the page. Looks like it's the first of the 2. Second one is the case. Yeah, I think so too, Metal. macOS download. All right, so let's try this. Paste that in. Come on, man. It is. What? Chubby, you missed some of it, but I want to show you guys the really interesting stuff. But Insta360 doesn't believe that the serial. Is this real life?
It's 0.
What?
They have no.
What?
They have no advertising. They have
What?
0
What?
for advertising.
I don't watch TV.
What is happening?
No, it doesn't.
Is this real life?
Not there. There's nothing. Ad that's ever been made. They don't even have a public relation.
Android, iOS. No, don't want that. It's the Go2 firmware. That's the firmware for the camera. I don't need that. Yeah, this is what I need.
They're an anomaly of all anomalies. Every single one of
I mean,
the patents is
what the hell?
every single one.
Metal, yeah, do that. Thank you.
Do it.
Where's the Go2? There's the Go2.
Wonderful.
Check the Insta360 app. Yeah, I can't. Well, oh, I can on my phone. I can on my phone. All right, let's see. Yeah, I know. It's vibrating. Insta360 Go. I don't think this is the right application. Let me in. No. Connect. This is frustrating. Explore. Is it explore? No, it's the camera button. I don't like their, I don't like the way, yeah, no, 7, no, it just told me the serial number and then it went away. Bluetooth control. Searching for camera. No, yeah, it's here. 7X. DUEW. Yeah, that's it. Maybe it doesn't like it uppercase? But it's uppercase in here. Nope. There, come on, man. Oh, do I have to put Go2 in front of it?
Are you gonna let that computer kick your ass or what?
Yeah.
This is
PC?
frustrating.
You need a PC.
Has nothing to do with that. It's Insta360's website. You jerk.
Yay, so.
Go2 7X DUEW. Yeah, no, of course that's not it. Wow. Jason Crabtree says, think you'll ever get back to Sim Sundays or any other day that ends in A. Is that, are you being funny, Jason? I did Sim Sunday literally yesterday.
Facetious.
I can't tell if you're being facetious or
Being an asshole.
you being an asshole?
Being an asshole.
All right, I gotta jump onto Discord. Hopefully, Metal Dirt Scan. Hey, there it is. Check your Discord DMs. All right, cool. So we're gonna try Metal's serial number, and then it's probably not gonna work with the effing camera. Why is yours so long?
No comment.
Wow.
IG. All right, so let's try his. Son of a bitch. How did you what?
Supplements.
In the app is IG2. Ooh! So it did need... So I need to connect to the camera, but... Whatever. It'll probably be
I
fine.
hit it.
User error.
Yeah.
Continue,
Is it errors
continue, agree. Thumbnail plugin, what? Fine. Just go. Okay.
I can smear all over the stone and then just make it.
This is the camera.
Just get right back here.
Jason Crabtree says, my bad, just notifications were off on your channel. Trying to be a dick, but apparently I'm missing a lot of videos. It's all good. It's all good, Jason. It's not a requirement that you guys watch everything I do, I swear to God. Okay, this is now getting upset. Where do I... Searching for your camera. Connect to it, because I want to see if I can find the proper serial number. Man tries to find... What?
No. That's all I've been thinking about.
What? That is the password, you jackass. Like...
Carpet, but
That just is. That just is the password. Oh, caps lock is on.
it was with white.
Okay, this is not working. Let's Okay. Put that back in there. Almost done registering updated components. Hotpoint Hoodlum says, yo, it's good because I've been MIA adding room to my house. Nice. But Erickson says in the app, it's in settings and camera information. Yeah, it won't. I couldn't find settings a minute ago. Eva FPV says, we've been doing whoop racing in the sim the last few nights. You should join us sometime. Very cool. I shall, now that I have a computer that can run Velocidrone properly. Although I don't really have any interest in racing, but I'll freestyle and try to get in your guys' way. That's what I do at whoop races. Hotpoint Hoodlum says, is the Go2 and the Peanut the same? Pretty much, yeah. Peanut's got a bigger case and the ability to power it directly from the flight controller, I believe. My main issue with the Peanut is you can't get any kind of physical damage protection with it. With the Go2, you can. If you buy your Go2 from Best Buy's online store, you can get Geek Squad protection, and it does work. I've had to return one already because they seem to be kind of fragile.
And I crash all the time.
And all I do is wreck shit. Searching for camera, now it's going to connect, but we've got... There it is. Alright, so let's pull this down here. I'm going to put it over here, I think. Come on, get in there. There we go. So, now I need to hook this thing back up. Wow, the application just absolutely refuses to connect at this point. Whatever.
Well, I thought I was having problems with PC.
Here it is.
You gotta do it from your phone.
Press to connect. There we go. Connect. Yeah, the phone application is just having a crisis. All right, here you go. Open Insta360 Go files. We're gonna go on to. I'll give it a second to pop up.
Why would anyone do this on purpose?
Or more than once.
Come on. Press to connect. I just did press to connect.
It's not like gardening.
What
You know, gardening you can do meditation. Gardening, but it's just
Connect.
It goes wrong.
Connect. Come on. It's gonna connect. Feel it.
And it does too. Boy, it does.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
It's gonna be a nice, good, solid.
Get on up.
Yeah.
Press to connect. I did. I just pressed to connect.
I think it was like two different paint directions happening. It just wasn't dragging.
Yeah, there we go.
100% homogeneous too. Like you can't have any inconsistency.
What? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it
Isn't that
is.
thick? No joke.
Okay. DCIM camera, and here we go. All right, so let's look at the dates here. August 8th, not March. February. Tell me it didn't record anything. I'm gonna jump off the building. No, there it is. There it is. That's definitely it. He thinks it's February 16th, 2022. That's annoying.
Wouldn't that be nice?
December 14th. I just want to make sure I'm not missing. Yeah, so it's going to be that, and it's going to be that. So let's import... Okay, yeah, all the blue shirt stuff. So it's down to 28. 24 down to 28. Oh wait, no. There are the better quality ones. Here are the better quality ones. Okay.
Damn it! Why would you get it
190.
that badly?
28. Hold on. Their naming convention is very strange. No, we got it. Okay. So down to 28 and up from there are the files. 1.9 gigabytes. Okay, yeah, 1.9, 2.57, 1.98. Cool. So I flew 3 batteries. 1, 2, 3. Open. Usually I copy them to the hard drive, but let's see if it can deal with them pulling them straight off the camera. That's quite the face. Let's make this as big. Wait, let's just do this. Hold on. I always get paranoid now that I'm not on the right scene. All right, we're good. So let's leave Flowstate on. So this is with Flowstate on. This is one of the really cool things about this software, is you can just turn Flowstate off, like on the fly, and then export it with it on or off. But let's leave it on because I find it to be the coolest thing ever. So here you guys go. So what you're getting to see is Flowstate getting confused already. Flowstate now, you know, when we took off, everything was fine, but now it's sideways for some reason. Now it's back to normal again, which just adds to the like. It's. I think Flowstate is basing things on like direction of travel, and I just think it's funny that we can confuse it so bad. So let's see how. Wow, it is so trippy to watch it like this with.
Oh man, that is something.
Yeah, it gets really confused. So it's going to be fine now. It's fine when you're going forward. But then, man, when you start doing like inverted pitch forward kind of stuff,
This is Toka.
like right now, like yeah, Toka's. It's very confused right now. Now it's catching up, and now it's back on again. It works great if you don't fly freestyle. Like if you fly a Cinewhoop, Flowstate works absolutely beautiful. But when you fly freestyle like this, it just can't handle it. It just doesn't know what to do because we're changing direction so much. But I find it to be really fun to watch. Even when it gets all screwed up, it's almost cooler in a way. So yeah, this is as good as it gets for me in Atlanta. I really think this is my absolute favorite spot. There we go. There goes Flowstate. That's one of my favorite things about Flowstate is when you do like a snap roll, it'll just stabilize the entire thing, and that looks pretty cool in this little valley here too. It's funny, like Flowstate is trying to make it more watchable, but it's just making it like Stranger Things. But we're gonna go from Flowstate to FPV stabilization in a minute, and FPV stabilization typically has a better. It typically doesn't get as confused, I guess we could say, and then we're gonna turn all the stabilization off because this camera angle really is just really cool. With the stabilization off. So this is a Ripsqueak V2 with the Toka 1505 motors. Same batteries as the other rig, 4S 650, 550, and 700. I don't know which battery is on right now. And these are the HQ Tri-Blade Cinewhoop propellers. They're a bullnose prop, so they're not all that. They're not all that efficient. But they're very pitchy and they make a ton of power. So they kind of feel pretty good on this rig. Alright, so now we're going to go to FPV stabilization for this battery. And let me try to make it a little bit bigger. Can I collapse this down, I wonder? What's this plus? Import more footage? No, I think this is about as big as I can make it. Patrick keeps painting white on the red.
Fucking
or on the purple.
on the white.
Purple on the white.
God damn it.
Alright, so here we go. Let's see how FPV stabilization does. It's already off to a little bit of a weird start there. No, it's doing a much better job. Look at it already. So yeah, arguably this is cooler. I mean, it's well, let's see when I start to really go ham. That's what I was curious about. I was curious about what this camera angle would look like when I started to do all that backwards nonsense. It's pretty cool. I dig that. I dropped really low to the ground there. That was a little scary. Yeah, okay, so FPV stabilization is a lot less trippy, and it still lets the rig move around a little bit. I hope I do a snap roll. I don't know what it'll do about a snap roll. I don't typically do them, though. I mean, I did just that one in that last battery, which is annoying because doing rolls in that tunnel is unbelievably cool looking. It's kind of disorienting.
Especially on kiss.
Right. Yeah, this for the record, this rig flies real good with the Insta360 Go. This is like, I am really confident flying this rig, which is scary because the Insta360 Go2 is kind of fragile. But I've got that Geek Squad on it, so I mean, what does it matter? I'm just more afraid of losing it, to be honest, because Geek Squad don't cover an invisible Go2, unfortunately. I think this rig is going to stay on these motors. I don't know. I also want to try the Gemfan 3052s on this, but they are not nearly as durable as these HQ propellers. This felt pretty good on these HQ propellers. Maybe these will be what I run it on. These Toka 1505s, I wish they had more KV. They need such a pitchy prop because they're just not quite a high enough KV for the amount of stator volume they've got. If I put them on 5S, it would be totally fine. I could put them on a ton of different 3-inch props, but I'm not going down that road. I've already got a ton of 4S 850s that these two ripsqueaks fly so good on. And those are the same batteries that I use with all the Cinewhoop, so it's nice to just have one battery to run on 5 or 6 or 7 different rigs. So the third battery that I flew at this spot, we're going to watch with no stabilization, which should be kind of interesting. The audio that it's getting is actually not nearly as bad as Runcam. I'm not going to turn the volume up, though, so that you guys can hear it, because it is still pretty just... So I guess FPV stabilization, it looks like it gives the rig maybe like 30 degrees of rotation on the roll axis, and then it looks like it pitches up and down maybe another 30 or 40 degrees or so. Feels like it pitches up and down more than it rocks left and right, which is kind of cool. All right, so there we go. There's a battery with the FPV stabilization on. Let's go off on the third battery here to none whatsoever. And that's going to be up here. And now this is a different spot. I kind of want to go back and watch one of those other ones. So one of the things you get with no stabilization, one of the things you get when you turn it off is field of view. Look at the difference in field of view. All stabilization is like this. Electronic stabilization has to zoom in order to do anything. So yeah, we're gonna get a little bit more field of view here, which is kind of interesting. It's also off center a little bit. I noticed that on the mount. I cranked the mount down a little bit too much. So this is actually what I prefer. I mean, if we're flying freestyle, to me, we should not have stabilization on. I know that can be an unpopular opinion with some people, but eat me, it's my show.
That's because you suck.
I didn't say it.
Nope.
This is another really cool little spot. When we pulled up to this spot, there was a security guard sitting at the front desk. I don't know if he saw us or not, but he just gets up and walks away. And we must have spent 20 minutes here flying.
You even knocked on the window.
This, yeah, I even banged into the window. I didn't seem to care. But yeah, this is really what I like. I like having the frame kind of welded to the top of the perspective. What do you guys like, out of curiosity? You've seen all three modes on this rear camera mount. Which one do you guys like the best? We're gonna go back to that other spot and watch one of those again with this lockdown camera angle, because like I said, this is my favorite. And I was doing a lot of backwards, weird, awkward shit at that other spot, which no stabilization really kind of shows better than stabilization. Yes, I did fly over the water. No, not with the micro. I did it with the 5-inch rig, and I didn't put one in there, thankfully. Really cool little spot. I've actually flown this spot before, but I flew it from across the street, so I didn't really like shred in here or anything like that. I just kind of visited it. I knew that was close, but I didn't realize it was that close. I'm always worried about hitting clearing a ledge too low and hitting the Insta360 Go directly into it. This is when I realized the battery was sagging real bad. I think this was the 4S550. But I just brought it in anyway. So let's go back to this battery and we're gonna just take a quick look with full field of view to see if it kind of makes it any more or less interesting. Oh, I see. If you don't have the thing open to the right, you have it open to the left. That's weird. So let's see. Yeah, type in the chat what you like better. First thing we watched was Flowstate. Second thing we watched was FPV stabilization, and then this is no stabilization whatsoever. This is absolutely my favorite, for sure. There we go. I mean, that, like, the sketchiness of that movement did not come through with the stabilization on. Like, with the stabilization, it just made it look like, oh yeah, all right, he flew backwards. But like right there, that looks ridiculous with no stabilization, right? God, I love this spot. It's just the best. I'm going back here tomorrow. No, I'm not. It's only a weekend spot. So yeah, this company Aprio apparently has bought this building. It used to be Verizon. Last time I flew it, it was owned by Verizon. Then when I flew it with Joshua Bardwell, it was vacant. And now it looks like this company Aprio bought it. We got kicked out of the lot pretty immediately. But then, yeah, flew from next door. I don't know how flyable this spot will be in the future because there's not a really great spot to park at this point. And I feel like we maybe just got away with it on when, like, the security person at this Zurich building was maybe not at the desk or whatever. But, yeah. So don't bug me to go fly this spot or anything tomorrow. Yeah, this is... I definitely prefer this, but that's just me. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. So there you guys go. There's all the micro flying I did this weekend. We can look at the 5-inch stuff. I don't know, maybe Friday, 5-inch Friday, perhaps. I'm pissed I didn't drop into there a little bit more aggressive, but it's fine. Just look at the quad when I'm doing that. Man, what a little spot. What a fun little spot. You could never fly this spot with like more than 1 or 2 people. This is not a setup camp spot. There's a lot of pilots in Atlanta, and I know a lot of guys want to go fly like 30, 40, 50 batteries in a row with like 20 people. That's not really my thing, and that's just not something that'll fly at a spot like this. So, yeah. If you ever come to Atlanta, don't expect to get a big group fly in a spot like this. It's just unrealistic. Man, it's such a drop. So that's a 7-story parking garage, and then the building is either 11 or 16 stories. I forget what it is. But man, it is a long way down. This is an ultra anxiety spot, and I've flown it a bunch, but it's still like, yeah, your hands are shaking a little bit afterwards. Everything's concrete, and they're just like, if you hit something, you're going to drop really far to a bunch more concrete. So it's just, yeah, exhilarating, Ken says. All right, cool. So there you guys go. There's your footage review, and it's getting late, so I'm actually going to get caught up in chat and then wrap this up so that I can help these guys out. I feel terrible if they're behind me going nutso while I'm talking to a microphone and a camera. Aaron FPV says FPV Flowstate locks the cam. What does that mean? Locks the cam. All right, I want to make sure I went back far enough. Melodicton says, I hear GyroFlow works pretty good on that Go2 footage if you want to customize the stabilization mode. Haven't tried it yet. Yeah, GyroFlow is really good, but as we just saw, you can really confuse it. So, Athix FPV says, micros are so nice today with the tech. It's true. They are so much better than they used to be. Melodicton says, I ran those 3052s on my Vista 3-inch last summer. It was the most fun I've ever had for about 60 seconds of battery life. Yeah, they are very pitchy. They're just not quite durable enough for like hard freestyle like that. Like a hard wreck, they would bend to the point where they're hitting the arm and you can't fly that home. Richard likes unstabilized. Hot Point Hoodlum says lock it down to show. I don't know what that means. Tell me more. Oh, for sure. Lock it down for sure. I think that means unstabilized. Chubby FPV says unstabilized. Bob Noxious says 3. Is that unstabilized, I think?
Yeah.
Aaron FPV says definitely no stabilization. Freestyle 661 agrees. Aaron FPV agrees. Bob Noxious agrees. Brian Jarvis says, Ciotti, how did you mount that camera? McConnell Studios has designed some 3D prints, and they adopted the BQ. So BQE has this for the Insta360 Go2. McConnell Studios adapted that to fit the Insta360 Go2. So it just hangs off the bottom there. It hangs off this rear piece that he designed. I know it's hard to see. Let's head over here real quick.
A lot better on your stream, but
Say again?
this looks a lot better.
Dude, I noticed it immediately.
Yeah.
When you got done painting, I looked. I'm like, well, something's way better.
Right?
Like, yeah, the right side or the left side of the screen's not brown. So yeah, here's the mount. It's got a little provision for a Crossfire Micro, and then you send a bolt through here to bolt this on, so that you can take this on or off. Here's what it looks like with it off on the other one, on the other rig. So it's just got these two little tabs on the bottom, and you just slide this guy right under those tabs, fire that bolt through, and yeah, holds it down there. And then McConnell Studios has also created this front mount here with this really nice stabilization, but I didn't put the camera on the front the other day because this is such like a novelty, hanging it down on the bottom, that I'm still like obsessed with that mounting method. You know what I mean? Everybody's saying no stabilization. Okay. Athix FPV says Flowstate was crazy. Kenny Kobe says first, so Kenny Kobe does like Flowstate. Bob Noxious says I prefer to fly with 3 or 4 people mostly. Brian Cartwright says that was awesome. Thank you, brother. 661 says FPV pilots will like no stabilization. Normal lame people will like stabilization. Aaron FPV says I was saying more that it holds the angle tighter. Gotcha. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. Eva says concrete plus gravity equals sadness. Brian Cartwright, unstabilized, myopic. Hey everyone. Myopic, you got in here just in time for me to end the stream. June Loco with the last combination then he says, forget the comparison, the rip alone was dope. Thank you, brother. This is my full-time job. Head over to CiottiFPV and just do something or other, and it'll help me not die. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Be good. Here's some...
Gangly death is bad.
What is this? What is this? Oh god, that
Shake,
sound.
shake, Sinara.
That sound is
Shake
so
your body
scary.
line.
What else do I have that I can show? Here's some rotor. Oh god, why? Here's some Rotor Riot Rampage footage. Oh my god, why? Why? Yeah, here's some Rampage footage to close this stream on out. I love you guys. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Let me get some Epidemic sounds going.
That's
Huh?
Painter. Is that where it comes from?
It is, but it's not working right now. I gotta figure it out. 101, so I'm gonna open this up, and then I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's a little dark, but this is Rotor Riot Rampage Micro Mayhem. Epidemic sounds, refresh, and staff picks, reverse beginning. Be good, friends. I'll see you guys Wednesday night for Whoop Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Later.